All right. Doing a quick mic check here. I got some buffering issues. Yeah. Mic sounds good. Good enough for government work. Getting ready to go live here. It's got some intro music playing there. That's Rick Parnell on drums and the Canuck on piano. The Canuck from the Canuck and Yankee fame. Canuck and Yankee show every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Rick Parnell was in the movie Spinal Tap. I'm going to be going over a bunch of stuff on crypto this evening, but I might play a little bit of Spinal Tap, maybe like the first 5 minutes of the movie. Yeah, but Rick Parnell, the piano that was there in the intro music here, was the drummer in that movie. There's a famous scene of Rick performing and partaking in illicit drugs and still keeping a beat nonetheless. Anyway, Spinal Tap, one of my favorites from that era. I'll be watching it again probably for the 10th time. It's good to revisit some old classics. This is Spinal Tap, released in 1984. Anyway, I've got updates on New York State moratorium on Bitcoin. Some news, I guess, out of the local communities in the wine country where some of the Bitcoin mining is taking place in New York State. New York State may put a ban for almost 2 years on any new Bitcoin mining. Maybe something could be worked out where new Bitcoin mining could come online if they use renewable energy. That would actually help build the alternative energy grid, help the grid overall in New York State. I mean, the whole country's grid here in the United States needs to be fixed. So maybe something positive will come out of it. Trying to remain optimistic, but it may get shut down. And I don't know, maybe I'll move to Texas, hang out with Son of a Tech, who I feature a lot on these streams. Also, I'm going to go through GPU prices on Best Buy. Prices continuing to fall. I'm waiting to see more NVIDIA GPUs get closer to MSRP. And I'll be going over Ethereum's move to pause. I checked out Bits Be Trippin'. He did a long stream on that, going over developer notes. I think Rapid Mining on YouTube also I checked out. The conference call for the Ethereum community was live. I believe you can check it out on YouTube. I'm going to have to find the link. But I'm going to be going over my thoughts on that, Ethereum's move to proof of stake, and also a new platform called Nervos Network CKB that utilizes blockchain and file storage to help build a new public forum for the internet. Something I'm trying to find out with this new platform is whether it's using IPFS or not. IPFS has been around for 6 years, but it's having a lot of stability issues, and the innovation is just not there. The network is not scaling well. It's not functioning well. So perhaps if this new Nervos network, I'm not sure if it uses IPFS, but it may be. But there really needs to be a need for something like Nervos network and other third-party startups to really help get IPFS to where it needs to be, so where it's truly scalable, it's fast, it's stable. I'm going to be looking at building out a website on IPFS with my unstoppable domain. If you are involved with the crypto industry, definitely check out Unstoppable Domains. There are also other ones. I believe there's ENS. There's another one that's more in beta, Handshake. But Unstoppable Domain seems to be the one taking most of the market share, it seems like to me. Definitely check that out if you're in the Cryptopia realm. And be taking a look at BTC, Bitcoin price drops, Ethereum price drops, just dropped below 3,000 today. And as stocks are rising, so I don't know, everything's really out of whack. But we seem to be very much in a bear market for crypto, which just have to make the best of it until we pull through. I definitely see Bitcoin eventually, maybe it takes another 18 months, but eventually going above its 67,000 highs. And we've got plans for a crypto giveaway here at Variant News with the Cryptopia show. I'm working out details with Jacob, the founder of Variant News. And yeah, so be on the lookout for that. We're also trying to get some more subscriptions on YouTube. So I'll post the YouTube live stream in the chat. If you could, please subscribe there, because I'm trying to figure something out. I don't know, I might settle on some kind of a mailing list, some kind of centralized way to get people's contact information. Also looking at building out a new kind of notification system, because it's difficult dealing with all these different platforms that I'm streaming on here. So let me post the actual live stream on YouTube. You can subscribe to the Variant News YouTube channel. Something going on with Restream chat. I'm not sure. Let me give me a sec. What is... Alright, here we go. It wasn't loading. Variant News on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna put the little intro music back on just for a little bit, and I'll be starting everything up soon, right around 7 p.m., maybe a little bit before. All right. Rock and roll. So just gonna check in first with the old Crypto Watch desktop app here that is chugging away all the latest, greatest pricing, up-to-date pricing information for all your crypto goodness. Yep, Bitcoin has dropped below 40,000. I was waiting for that. Ethereum dropped briefly below 3,000. I think it's time I buy some Bitcoin, a little bit more. I can't afford much. I buy around $10 a Bitcoin a pop. You know, that's about all I can afford. But I'm working on a crypto wallet app here in the New York City area with a company, and the app is going to have support for exchanges. We'll have to see. We might have her support starting out with maybe 5 exchanges. But one of those is Coinbase Pro. I'm not aware. There's 2 versions of Coinbase. There's the standard default when you sign up, and then there's a Pro account that offers like more advanced trading tools. And from what I'm aware of, only the Pro account, the Coinbase Pro account, has API access. I need the API access to be able to create the functionality to use the exchange, Coinbase exchange, inside the app that I'm working on, crypto app. But I'll have to see. Maybe they now have an API access for the standard account. But I might buy some Bitcoin on the Pro account. A couple dollars at least. That's all I can afford. Solana staying in the 100 range. I believe it's all-time high. Yeah, it was around 260 back in November of last year when all the major crypto platforms hit their highs, all-time highs. And Polkadot at 17. What else do we have here? Doge, everybody's Dogecoin meme that we can pounce upon at .13. Shiba Inu, now the darling ERC20 token, the new meme coin on the Ethereum network is an ERC20 token, still at .0000022. But I'd like to see something happen with that. You can pick up millions of Shiba Inu for only about $100. And it'd be great to actually be able to do something with it, but it's not at it's not doing well. But hold on to it, see what happens, and then you can buy up all those classic ape NFTs. I covered that in the Kentucky Yankee Show yesterday. Lawsuits popping up for these classic ape. I don't know if that's the exact name. I think it falls under the classic ape NFTs, but people are scamming. And this is going to happen because, as I've said many times, NFT market is ridiculously overvalued. So you've got criminals coming in there and hacking the transactions on OpenSea. And now there's multiple lawsuits, and these people, users of OpenSea, are pissed off because the network's getting hacked, transactions are getting hijacked. In one case, a guy took the guy's ape NFT, got it for much cheaper, and then flipped it for a lot of money. Kind of like, like people flipping houses, but it's cryptocurrency. Stealing house. It's like stealing a house and then flipping it and selling it for a lot of money and getting away with it. It's crazy. Well, we'll see where these lawsuits go. Obviously, the the criminal transaction all occurred on the blockchain, so they'll be able to trace that to whatever criminal outfit is responsible. It could just be like some teenager in a basement somewhere. Who knows? Or it could be the Russian mob or something. I don't know. Taking a look at XRP at .70338. I don't have any XRP updates with the SEC case and the parent company Ripple, but last time I looked into it, it looks like it's not going to get settled till August anyway, so I have definitely spent a lot of time covering it, but I'll take a look at it, see if next week or so, see if there's any updates on that realm. Jeremy Hogan is a really good lawyer on YouTube to check out if you're interested in the SEC case with XRP and Ripple, which has major ramifications for everybody in the crypto market. Check out Jeremy Hogan. I'm also going to be covering tonight on the library. I'm going to be going over Odyssey's library token and the ramification that has for startups in blockchain. Algorand's at .69 and Chainlink at 13.84. It's definitely taking a toll. Let me just do I have Chainlink in here? I'm pretty sure I've got Chainlink. Algo XRP. .xlm. I don't think I have Chainlink in here. I got to get that added in here so I can see the history. Oh. Let me switch back to ticker. Cardano not moving much. .93. I've been mining Ergo just to do some tests. I don't know. Probably not going to dedicate too much mining power to it, but was able to pick up a few Ergo. With Ethereum's move to proof of stake, miners everywhere are looking for the next thing to mine. There was a recent pump of Ergo because there was a massive people were testing other coins out, and so there was some movement, so we got an idea of what it's going to look like to some degree when all that hash power moves away from Ethereum. And Ergo got up to 5, above 5. It's at 4.29 right now. Ethereum Classic is also another token that is being mined with the possibility of good percentage of miners moving to that. That's pretty much the basics for what I have. XLM at .18, XLM, Algorand, XRP. I kind of lump all those in the same kind of demographic in crypto. Flux Network is definitely an important platform to be looking at once Ethereum goes proof of stake. It has a movement, proof of useful work, where they're really trying to push the community to come up with ideas, great startups, to help the internet, help the crypto market at large to continue to grow, proof of work to continue to grow. So it's definitely going to be, I think Flux is going to lead the way with that. And, a lot of people with the move to, let me switch over to cam view, with the move to a little bit dark here. Okay, Google, set smart strip to white.
Okay, changing smart strip to white.
That's a little bit better. You can see my ugly face better, but Flux is going to play a major part in helping proof of work, I think, have long-term longevity. after Ethereum's proof of stake. And also, I found a new platform on Reddit. I was on a thread there, and I wanted to respond to a guy who turned me on to a new platform. And then Reddit went down. Their CDN servers, I guess the servers they use to cache all their website files and all that to make everything fast all around the world, went down. But I'm going to reply to him some additional questions. But let me move over to the media viewer. And get to where I need to go here. And it is not there. It is this. It is the Nervous Network CKB Crypto. A little bit strange of a name, but they kind of go into the meaning of it in this article. I think it's the other article here. But Nervous Network is a blockchain infrastructure with protocols to develop the foundation for a universal public platform and addresses the greatest challenges facing the most popular blockchains nowadays. So from what I can gather, and I'm still in the research phase here, but they're linking up file storage, and I still have not verified if they're going to be using IPFS, the interplanetary file system. If they're going to be using that, or they're I don't know why they wouldn't. It's been around for 6 years, and it needs a lot of help from third parties. But so basically, they're going to use file storage, and so the whole system is set up to where you can secure your file storage, store your data on the blockchain, and it's also proof of work, so you can mine it. So it really would help in moving Web3 further, and censorship, news platforms, everybody involved on the internet nowadays are, they're looking for ways to get their ideas out there without being censored. So Nervous Network may play a part in helping build this. It's something I've been wanting to find. And let's see, this is from publish0x.com, which is the first time I've checked out this site. Nervous Network, Nervous Network includes 2 layers. Basic is a decentralized blockchain, which is responsible for keeping info associated with other blockchains. It acts as the backbone of the tiered economy, securing the trusted actions of the upper layers in the whole infrastructure. This layer ensures that transactions are conducted and secure information is generated and stored on peer-to-peer nodes, which is basically what IPFS is doing. Blockchains in the generation layer apply different consensus algorithms. Nervous Crypto is only one of a lot of participants of this project. It plays a limited role in security and decentralization. Let me just do a quick search for IPFS and Nervous Network. Well, this is a very new platform. I don't think there's a lot of information online or already for this. Let's see, Nervous partners and ecosystems. Let me get this link into this browser here. I don't know if this link is going to load. It's absolute. All right. So here's nervos.org. So it appears to be their main site. And there should be IPFS information here. Let me search for it. Here we go. We are proud of the projects that have backed us thus far and those who have partnered with us on this journey to build a better blockchain future. Muta is a highly customizable, high-performance blockchain framework. It is designed to allow anyone in the world to build their own blockchain while enjoying the security and finality brought by Nervos CKB. More information at muta.dev. I'm going to put this in the chat. You can check it out. There's also Leap DAO, or Leap DAO, as a decentralized adaptive organization. We combine holacracy and decentralized organizations. I don't know why I can't select this text, but that's annoying. To build a global, self-managing, and purpose-driven community. The URL right here is an IPFS. Looks like URL. Let's see if I can get to this. All right, then. I think I need an IPFS. I thought I installed it in Chrome. I'll have to check out this site when I get my browser IPFS integration working again. But yeah, that's an IPFS domain name, it looks like. So it looks like there is some type of IPFS integration, but it's kind of hard to dig up exactly how they're using IPFS. Moving on, there's also Grin. Grin is a privacy-preserving digital currency built openly by developers distributed all over the world. Obviously, there's Chainlink, which I'm familiar with. I'm running a test node on Robstein, not Robstein, one of the lesser-known test networks on Ethereum on my Linoid. So I may have plans to try to incorporate Chainlink and smart contracts into the crypto wallet app, especially for pricing information and stuff like that. Chainlink's decentralized Oracle network provides reliable, tamper-proof inputs and outputs for complex smart contracts on any blockchain. Chainlink is platform agnostic, so it has support for all the major platforms: Ethereum, Polkadot, Solana, Cardano. Obviously, each platform is going to have varying levels of support. Obviously, Ethereum being the one that'll have probably the best support. But yeah, you can use, in theory, the major platforms with Chainlink. That's why I have started to learn more about it. Moving on, there's Band Protocol. Band Protocol is a cross-chain data oracle platform that aggregates and connects real-world data and APIs to smart contracts. And there's PWSDK. PWSDK is the SDK for building CKB apps, including PW Core, front-end JS SDK, PW Lock, a lock script that verifies signatures from other blockchains, and PW Lib, a library of cryptographic primitives. Bitcoin SPV utils. Bitcoin SPV is a low-level toolkit for working with Bitcoin and other blockchains. It can be used to validate almost all Bitcoin transactions and headers, as well as header chains and transaction inclusion proofs. There's some partners here from NFT and gaming: Hyro, Toshiel, Golden Legend, and DAS. And here's the CKB Explorer. CKB Explorer is a Nervos CKB blockchain explorer built with React and Ruby on Rails. It supports searching block, transaction, address, and includes two parts: front-end and back-end server. TokenView.com is a blockchain data platform providing 100-plus blockchain hashes, hash search, and smart contract details while covering all the chain data in the current blockchain field. CK Bar is one of the biggest communities providing content and online event about Nervos in the popular online crypto space, especially in Chinese world. Yeah, Nervos, I'm finding, does have a Chinese connection. I'm wondering about where the CCP gets its tentacles into that, because you can't do anything in China without the CCP getting their tentacles wrapped around it. And at the same time, CCP is heavily monitoring crypto as it wants its digital yuan. It has delusions of grandeur, believing that its digital yuan will take over the world and become the new reserve currency. I don't know. Maybe they can pull it off. We are talking about the CCP. They are a clever bunch of 80 million plus. CKB Fans is a new and young community gathering much interesting and informative content to let people learn and know Nervos in easiest way. There is no link to that, so I don't know what's going on with that. There's Nervos Community, Nervos Nation, and there's a bunch of wallets here. I am not recognizing Ledger. I haven't heard of a lot of these. Portal Wallet, Math, Neuron Wallet. So these all looks like very new wallet startups. But this is stuff like this is very much needed in crypto. There's too many platforms now, and I really don't think Ethereum. I think a lot of Ethereum developers and the large holders of Ethereum that are elitist and making Ethereum more centralized. I think they believe they can dominate the crypto market, but I just don't. There's so many people have invested in Solana and Polkadot, Cardano. I mean, I know definitely Cardano. The founder of Cardano was at Ethereum, and there were, I think, one or two other founders of Ethereum that have just got tired of the Ethereum community. There's a lot of infighting in the governing body for Ethereum, and you've had at least 2, maybe 3 founders in the Ethereum community move on to create new crypto platforms, Cardano obviously being one of the biggest. A lot of competition for Ethereum and stuff like Nervos Network, where it's trying to connect all the pieces across all these platforms instead of, doing what I think doing what Ethereum is really trying to do. It's like could maintain its dominance. It's really, they're doing everything they can to try to like in the browser wars in the early part of the internet, you had Mosaic. I believe it was University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Not pronouncing that right, but that's where the Mosaic browser came from, I believe. Then Microsoft bought it and then, wanted to dominate the market. I mean, to my mind, Ethereum's like they're trying to be like what Microsoft did with web browsers, maybe it's not the best analogy, but they've become the biggest entity in crypto as far as the developer network, or really they have the most developers by far. They have the #1 for NFT transactions with Solana right behind them. I mean, they're Solana's starting to catch up. So let me take a look at what's left here in the article on Nervos Network. So Nervos Network is an infrastructure of Nervos, a combination of a set of protocols, second-level solution, CK byte token, and other parts of this system. Nervos developers rely on layer 2 solutions. Users should know 3 reasons for this: virtually endless possibilities for scaling the blockchain, low fees for transfers, no risk to the main chain. According to the project owners, only this combination will solve the scalability dilemma. Ethereum, absolutely horrible. Transfer fees, the price of gas, which is the ecosystem in Ethereum for managing transaction fees, through the roof. Ethereum's push to proof of stake is not going to solve the scaling issues of Ethereum, the slowness of the network. They need to increase transactions per second to a great degree. That's not going to be handled. The only thing they're doing right now is just trying to get all the miners off of Ethereum, which is going to reduce the supply of Ethereum. How is new Ethereum going to be created? The Ethereum governing body, they're not discussing, they're not being transparent at all. What's going to happen when the miners get shut off? Where's the new crypto going to come? that's not clear to me. I need to do more research on it. And if there's not something in place, I'd imagine they're obviously testing it now, and they're going to have to figure out how to solve that, because if new Ethereum is not brought on, it could go deflationary very quickly, which would plummet the price. You would start burning tons of Ethereum. No new Ethereum is getting added, so something on my to-do list to figure out what the governing body for Ethereum is doing about that. My impression is that they've got, unless they're completely clueless, they've got to have some plan in place, but they don't want to be transparent about it, especially to the miners. It's a very tricky situation. They can't tell the miners too much information, because it could really pull things out of whack if all the hash power, if they said on this date, that's when we're going proof of stake, all the miners are going to leave, and they're going to leave early. So they're going to keep miners of Ethereum dangling from a string with a very, very short window, it looks like. It's very possible that they are close to the merge, and they could hit around the June time frame, but you're not going to get anything definitive out of Ethereum governing body, Ethereum community. Moving on with Nervos Network and CKB tokens. CK Byte is a native Nervos coin. CBK token. There's CK Byte and CBK token. CBK token is useful storing assets on the blockchain and utilizing smart contracts. It scales simultaneously with the creation of other coins, information, and smart contracts within the network. So this is pretty, I mean, this is going to work across all the major platforms, I guess. CK Byte became available on the CoinList platform in the autumn of 2019. Its issuance involves several stages. Initial delivery, $33 billion. And CKB in Genesis blockchain. With 8.4 billion CK Bytes immediately burned. Base issue, a total of 33 billion CKBs are issued. The annual issuance base is halved every 4 years. Secondary issuance is over 1.3 billion. Project has a fair distribution of coins. Everything is thought out, and there can be no situation when all tokens will be put on the market at once. Where to store CKB tokens? To store tokens, everyone can use a Neuron wallet. It's created by the Nervos Foundation. Saves investor keys and can initiate and broadcast transfers on your behalf. And here's the CKB price predictions, which I hate because you really can't predict this stuff. But just to give you an idea, we'll go over the basics. If the project keeps growing, the CKB price will increase, as while investor believes it will cost over 0.0235 at the end of 2021. The Good Currency Price Prediction team has an even more positive CKB crypto price prediction and thinks this coin will be 0.04 by the same time. I'm definitely going to look into mining it. It's going to take me a few weeks, maybe more. But at the prices it's at now, I might be able to get accrue a good chunk of it, because it's very much in its infancy. But it may be so much in its infancy that there may be issues with mining, and I'm not sure. I got to check that out. What is Nervos coin price today? 0.0105. When was this article posted? July of last year. So a little bit of an old article, coming up almost a few months shy of 1 year. How to buy CKB token. The easiest way to buy CKB is to choose exchanges such as StealthX. With this platform, you can exchange crypto for another crypto or buy it for fiat money. StealthX. Is StealthX the only exchange? Well, according to this article, it is, but this is almost a year old. Let me check out. Is this this is same article. check out this one. Hopefully there's some additional, it looks like there's some additional information in this. This is from cryptocurrencypriceprediction.com. Nervos network set to multi-asset and true value of Bitcoin. It is built to support crypto growth. The network itself is an open source blockchain and collection of protocol that help deploy and develop decentralized applications. The Nervos works on layer infrastructure. It has two layers, layer 1, OKB, and layer 2. Layer 1, common knowledge base focused on providing decentralization, security, and privacy, which is what I've been looking for. And I knew that there's going to be a platform that this is desperately needed. Keep crypto decentralized, keep it secure, because there's hacked all the time, and privacy. And where layer 2 system provides functionality, scalability, and performance, the layer 2 plays a major role in achieving instantaneous transaction of millions of users. In that, layer 2 and layer 1 alternately interoperable with each other. The Nervos CKB inherit Bitcoin blockchain feature to generalize to support storage to the different crypto assets. However, CKB is based on proof of work consensus algorithm known as NCMax that create foundation for layer 2 protocol. Scaling and integration. The NCMax will, with innovation of Nakamoto, will increase TPS and at the same time will lower the transaction approval time without compromising security. I believe they're referring to the Nakamoto consensus. We're just going to go over this real quick for all the nerds out there. The Nakamoto consensus gave birth to blockchains as we know it. What makes it so different from consensus mechanisms that came before? The Nakamoto consensus, as its name applies, was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin's synonymous founder. In the Bitcoin white paper, it is considered the solution to the Byzantine generals problem. A thought experiment that deals with a key question in computer science. Is it possible to form a consensus in a computer network of independent distributed nodes? The Nakamoto consensus says that yes, indeed it is. The Nakamoto consensus is a set of rules that verifies the authenticity of a blockchain network using combination of the proof of work consensus algorithm and a Byzantine fault tolerance peer-to-peer network. Prior to Satoshi's creation of the Nakamoto consensus, Byzantine fault tolerance was used in peer-to-peer networks to maintain their authenticity for a variety of cryptographically related projects, and even some early forms of digital currency. However, there were problems. In just a Byzantine fault tolerance system, the voting system for consensus requires a rotating election of leaders. If a leader acted maliciously, as leaders are known to do, then they could be removed from the network by a vote from the other nodes. In the case of Bitcoin, and for the idea of a digital currency in general, this individual removal of leaders through a voting process could pose a huge problem when it came to scaling. Satoshi's, and we'll just go over the Byzantine generals problem, because it gives metaphorically probably should be a better explanation for you. The Byzantine generals problem. The Byzantine generals problem is a thought experiment that deals with a key question of computer science. Is it possible to form a consensus in a computer network composed of independent, geographically distributed nodes? The problem was proposed in 1982 by researchers from SRI. It goes as follows. There are a number of Byzantine generals besieging a city. They can only communicate via sending messages to each other. The generals must agree on a common plan of action, whether to attack the city or retreat. However, some of the generals are traitorous and actively working against the forming of a consensus. And their number and identities are unknown. The question posed by the problem is what decision-making algorithm the generals should use devise a common plan, regardless of the trader's interference and whether such an algorithm exists at all. According to the researcher's own analysis, such a system is indeed feasible, but the number of loyal generals must strictly exceed 2/3. For example, in a situation with 3 generals, one of which is traitorous, the loyal ones can never guarantee that they'll be able to reach a consensus. This problem is highly relevant for cryptocurrencies, as they are in essence distributed computer systems. They are composed of transaction processing nodes that are independent of each other, and any central authority can only communicate remotely. They are the generals that need to reach a consensus about which transactions have taken place and when. Nodes have the potential to supply fault faulty data about transactions, either by choice or by accident. Information must be sorted out. Bitcoin, BTC, and other cryptocurrencies solve this problem via technical solutions such as the proof of work and proof of stake algorithms. So that's in a nutshell, one of the main reasons why we need cryptocurrencies. A lot of people think, not a lot, but you know, the anti-crypto people, why do we need it? Well, you know, we've got fiat. Well, I hate to break you to it, but everything is moving to artificial intelligence, machine learning. We need more advanced systems. We need digital currency. We need fault tolerance. And more and more things are just going to be run by computers, unless some cataclysmic event occurs and we all go back to the Stone Age. Moving on back to the article on let me find it here. This one. Back on the Nervos network. CKB. The Nervos CKB inherent Bitcoin blockchain feature to generalize to support storage to the different crypto assets. However, CKB is based on proof of work consensus algorithm known as NC Max. And I already went over this. Nervos network price predictions, which I hate, but you can check them out. Obviously, as you can see, it's very much in its infancy, but this is a really good time to be taking a look at new crypto platforms, structures, technology. And I know there's a lot of miners out there looking for the next thing to mine, so definitely check this out if you're trying to figure out what to mine after Ethereum goes proof of stake. I checked out the community video through other YouTubers when Ethereum governing body met recently. They're publicly stating that they need more time for their testnet. They are testing, and I believe they're not on Ethereum mainnet, but they're creating a shadow mainnet, which is really a test network to test code. But there was a lot of confusion on this one YouTube channel. I think it was Chump Change? No, it's Chump Change. I can't remember now. But I think it's a new shadow test network that is mainnet, where they're going to be testing the transition to proof of stake. They're saying publicly that they're close to doing that. Have to see publicly what they say. Like I said, things could go any which way. Ethereum governing body could be intentionally misleading miners because they don't want to. They can't give an exact date because of all that massive amount of hashing power would leave Ethereum, and that's how Ethereum gets supplied, and it'd be a major problem. It would throw massive wrenches into the transition to proof of stake. At the same time, Ethereum governing body is not telling us how they're going to increase the Ethereum supply. I got to take a look into that. I've got some serious concerns for Ethereum going deflationary, perhaps extremely, and I'm looking into taking some chunks, definitely doing some tests. I got to do it anyway on my crypto wallet I'm working on. Taking some chunks of Ethereum, converting it to Bitcoin, and just, holding that. Transferring to Bitcoin, holding it long, is the safest bet as Ethereum goes through some serious rough waters to the move to proof of stake. I would think by end of May we'll have a really good idea on whether Ethereum's going proof of stake sometime in the summer or Q3, fall this year or next year. They can't get too close to the holidays near Thanksgiving or Christmas because nobody works at that time of year, and that's the absolute worst time to do a massive transition like this, a massive paradigm shift for Ethereum. The Nervos ICO overview platform CKB raised $72 million. Date of ICO was October 24th, 2019. Nervos Network overview, ticker symbol CKB, CK Byte. Total supply 27,958,551,469, according to this article. And the official website was where we were, I believe, nervos.org. There it is, nervos.org. And I think I already put that in the chat. And of course, Restream chat app has logged me out. That's extremely annoying. Did not save my password. It's based on the Nervos Network overview is based on multi-asset blockchain. Going to try to get some clarification exactly right now in the present state. What are the major platforms they're supporting? Launched in 2018. The all-time high was .009, and this article does not have a date stamp. That's great. Thanks. Appreciate that. Nowhere to be found. So I have no idea when this article was posted. I'm going to post it in the chat. If you find a date stamp, let me know. I'll post it in DLive chat. I can't hit all the channels. So it reached an all-time high. This seems like an old article, maybe a year old or more. There's a .009. Exchange platform, Biloxi, Huobi Global, MXC, Who, CoinEx, OceanX, Bitforex, Bitrex, Gate.io, Hotbit, CoinTiger, Probit Exchange, BitMax, BitHum Global, Cytex, and LBank. And their flagship wallet is the Neuron wallet. So we'll see how many coins they'll support. I got to take a look at that. They've got a lot of partners here. Sequoia Capital is absolutely huge, so that's good to see. A lot of these are, looks like crypto startups. I'm not getting into the price analysis again, as it annoys me. Can CKB reach $1 US? I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I got to sleep at night. Moving on. Check out CoinDesk headline. Bitcoin plummeting below 40,000. Ethereum just dipped below 3,000. These are not good. Bear market. If Ethereum goes deflationary, dipping below 3,000, no. I think if it goes deflationary, it could dip below 1,000, maybe even 500. But I don't think it would get there. But it's possible it could dip below 1,500. Maybe. Drop down to 1,000. But that's price predictions, and who knows. So, market wrap. Bitcoin sell-off deepens as correlation with stocks rises. BTC is down 40% from its November peak when it hit around 67,000 range, high 60,000, compared with a 16% drop in the NASDAQ 100 over the same period. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies are obviously more volatile than traditional markets. Bitcoin continued its descent on Monday, dipping below 40,000. Investors appear to be reducing their exposure to speculative assets, including stocks and cryptos. So where the hell are they putting their money? In real estate? Gold? Silver? Amid concerns about inflation and slower economic growth, further, the 10-year Treasury yield rose to a new 3-year high on Monday at 2.78%, which reduces the present value of expensively priced tech stocks. Obviously, Federal Reserve is saying they're going to be raising interest rates long term. That's really going to affect stocks, the attractiveness of stocks. It's going to be hard for stocks. You're just not going to see the growth in stocks. And also, taking a look at Dow Jones, some of the major indexes real quick. No major dips. Nasdaq down 300, Dow Jones down 400. I mean, the Dow Jones has risen so much just in the past 4 or 5 years, since 2008. It doesn't matter if there was a 1,000 point drop in a day, in a 24-hour period. Nasdaq, different story, but Dow Jones 34,000. I mean, 2008. Around the 2000 in 2009, sorry, on March 1st, the Dow Jones was at 7,608. That was in 2009. It hit an all-time high of, what is that? It's hard to read this. 35,000, 30. Let me do. Yeah, it was up there, 37,000 range, 36,290 around there, give or take. In the early part of this year, that was its all-time high, around there. So it can get some serious price correction. It could dip down to 32,000. Now, I mean, if there was like a 5,000, 10,000 price drop in a day or so, yeah, that's alarming, but we've been getting massive price drops in the 500, 800, in a 24-hour, 1,000. So there's a lot of headroom in the Dow Jones. And that basically just comes down to the rich keep getting richer, the billionaires keep getting wealthier and wealthier as everybody else just gets poorer and poorer. So that's the only thing I could see on why there hasn't been a market correction yet. Continue with the CoinDesk article. Gold, a traditional safe haven, traded higher on Monday while the Chicago Board Options Exchange's CBOE Volatility Index, a measure of the stock market's expectation of volatility based on S&P 500 index options, rose about 20. Similar to what occurred in early February, that indicates uncertainty among investors. In crypto markets, most alternative cryptocurrencies, altcoins, underperformed Bitcoin on Monday. Ether was down 8% over the past 24 hours, compared with a 16% drop in Thorchain's Rune token and a 6% decline in BTC over the same period. For now, technical indicators suggest lower support at 37,500 and 40,000 could stabilize BT's down move. Bitcoin's pullback below 43,000 triggered a wave of long liquidations over the weekend. Liquidations occur when exchange forcefully closes a trader's leverage position as a safety mechanism due to a partial or total loss of the trader's initial margin. In this case, traders who were long Bitcoin are forced out of their position as price drops, which can accelerate declines in the spot market. I think Bitcoin has the best potential for people to buy it and hold it long. China was trying to game Bitcoin. They were trying to take control of it. They failed miserably. And now they thought they couldn't do that, so they're joining the game with their digital yuan. I believe long term they will fail miserably with their digital yuan. But a lot of that Bitcoin hash rate has now moved to the United States, and there'll only be select countries where you're going to be able to mine Bitcoin. And I think the United States is going to be the leader. Obviously, you might see New York State with a moratorium, and that's the next story I'm going to cover. Prevent new Bitcoin mining operations from coming online, but you're not going to, I think Texas alone is a safe haven. That's why I've got some connections down there. I may seriously look into it as energy costs continue to rise. I'm obviously going to do what I can with solar panels here where I reside, but it'd be good to branch out and network. In Texas, I think long-term Texas economic future is looking very, very good. A lot of people are exiting the big cities, Los Angeles, New York, San Francisco, what have you, and Texas is growing. It's pro-business. There's not high taxes. There's not excessive regulation. And it's big enough to take on Bitcoining hash rate if the U.S. federal government tries to go after with all the climate weirdos saying and it's bad for the environment. Texas, nobody messes with Texas. Texas alone could deal with absorbing Bitcoin hash rate. But that's worst case scenario. Moving on to New York State moratorium on Bitcoin. I've got some articles here. Wondering if this is going to be more propaganda than anything else. I really not buying this whole climate weirdo stuff. I mean, New York State should be solving this problem with Bitcoin mining by bringing on more solar power, wind power. Do what you can. There's the time to do it. Bitcoin mining operations need cheap energy. Otherwise, all these Bitcoin mining industry, which is going to New York State's going to lose a lot of jobs, going to miss out on a massive amount on the blockchain revolution. The whole new internet is being formed. States need jobs. They need to provide jobs. So this is from MSN.com. When I reach Ricky Rainey on the phone, he's barreling down a highway in his Subaru with samples of Riesling in tow. I'm out here spreading the Finger Lakes love, he tells me, which means he's testing his winery's wares on potential buyers and acting as de facto ambassador for his rural pocket of New York, known as a wine country escape with unique glacial lakes and brutal winters. But the area has become a flashpoint because, like a growing number of areas across the U.S., is contending with the unfamiliar neighbor, Bitcoin. The treacherous Bitcoin. For people like Rainey, who spends a lot of time thinking about dirt and weather, the company in question, Greenidge Generation Holdings, represents an outside force that hogs energy and water resources to mine cryptocurrency. For one thing, it sucks and spits out millions of gallons of water each day as a consequence of its steam-powered turbines. That's not destroying the environment. Rainey says, you come to the winery, you sit down, and I hand you a glass. It's tangible. It's very there. The Bitcoin thing, it's millions of gallons of water being dumped back into the lake every day, and we all go, for what again? Come on. It's not damaging the lake. It's steam-powered turbines. And he's not alone. This just seems like ripe propaganda article by the climate weirdos trying to convince everybody they don't know anything about Bitcoin mining and crypto that Bitcoin's bad. And he's not alone. When it comes to understanding Bitcoin, though, it's clear environmental advocates know what it is because they had to become experts over the last year in their fight for more oversight of the former power plant turned Bitcoin mining operation. The intricate details of Bitcoin's global environmental impact have long been debated, unpacked in online conversations, white papers, and studies. Critics say mining is widely inefficient, using as much energy as some small countries. People don't understand. Internet's getting more and more complex. If we don't have cryptocurrency, we're not going to be able to secure the internet financially and what have you. For censorship, the entire state of the internet is on the line here. Everything's moving to AI. I hate to break it to you. This whole la-la land where because the climate, we're all going to die in 12 years, according to Ocasio-Cortez. It means we shouldn't do anything. We shouldn't innovate or do anything. Bitcoin mining does not destroy the environment. The majority of Bitcoin mining operations use alternative energies or are in the process of helping bring alternative energies onto the grid. They're helping build a new, stronger grid, a versatile grid in the United States. Embrace that, understand that, and don't listen to the climate weirdos. So, critics say mining is wildly inefficient, using as much energy as some small countries. Nick Carter of Castle Island Ventures wrote last year, Bitcoiners are forced to defend the cost of this energy while the critics enjoy an apparently conscious free right to selectively question the energy uses of specific industries. But now these abstract, long-standing debates feel, as Rainey says, very there. The version of this story first appeared in the Climate is Everything newsletter. Concerns are coalescing not just in New York, but in Kentucky, West Virginia, Oregon, Texas, and more, questioning how much local economies are really benefiting from crypto mining, especially given the energy and environmental impact trade-offs. Oregon's Democratic Senator Ron Wyden, Senate Finance Committee Chair, is probing crypto mining companies to show that they're having the promised positive impact on distressed communities. Our grid is in very much decay across the entire United States. Politicians refuse to look into R&D on fusion reactors. Billions need to be, if not trillions, eventually need to be dumped into it. Get it working. Chinese are already working. CCP is already working on a fusion reactor. Probably going to beat the whole world to it. Okay, they're going to they're going to have a more efficient energy grid. And right now, let's get at least one, maybe two nuclear power plants out west in a remote area. Get them online so we have enough power to innovate. We're getting beat out by everybody, especially China. We're getting beat out on China with new energy and with innovating with energy. Texas is mentioned here, but as I said, Texas is going to be the biggest safe haven for Bitcoin mining, crypto, I think, long term in the United States. While powerful crypto players like Ethereum are working to dramatically reduce their energy use, it's easier said than done for Bitcoin. And for Yvonne Taylor, Vice President of Seneca Lake Guardian, an organization opposing Greenwich, it's not just about the broader climate impact. Local impacts are front and center, too. They're going to be emitting over 1 million tons of CO2 equivalents into the atmosphere every year, in addition to harmful particulate matter. She says, in farm country, she says that's a huge problem for delicate crops like grapes. Another major concern includes the intake and discharge of millions of gallons of lake water, as Rainey mentioned. Residents argue that return lake water is warm enough to cause problems for wildlife, and some have even said that parts now feel like a hot tub. Greenwich, however, fiercely denies these claims. The company says in a statement, we fully adhere to our existing air and water permits and will continue to do so. One thing the Greenwich story really highlights is the materiality of these technologies, says Elizabeth Reiners, professor of tech ethics at the University of Notre Dame. Just as with the conversations around data, AI, and cloud computing before, blockchain and cryptocurrency often rely on ethereal terms to obscure the physical and material impacts of the tech, including, in this case, very real environment and social impacts. I never once said you shouldn't invest in cryptocurrencies, says Rainey, but do whatever the hell you want to do. I also have the right to push back. We will do what anyone would do to protect the backyard. This is a climate on the edge. And see, there we go. This is a climate on the edge. Like some type of climate apocalyptic messiah. Buying into the whole hysteria. We can't run a country. We can't be innovative if we're going to buy into this climate catastrophe hysteria, which is destroying the country and is related directly to the environmental social governance movement led by such notorious individuals as Klaus Schwab. It's a massive worldwide movement where they're going to try to tell small and mid-sized companies, the big corporations will have the resources, the lawyers to deal with it, but they're going to try to tell individuals, small to mid-sized companies, how to live their life. What appliances you can use. It could get that bad. if people don't push back and understand that this is more about a power grab. They're claiming the climate crisis because that sells, that's clickbait, and there's a massive movement for it, and it works really well on social media. But the real issue is with people like Elizabeth Warren. Politicians don't want blockchain to survive because they want to issue a CBDC and control digital assets. They want full control. Politicians want full control over the populace. And if this, there is going to be some kind of revolt. I know a lot of people, they have this attitude, there's nothing we can do. But believe me, it's coming. There's going to be a correction, and I'm not buying the argument that they can destroy crypto. It has a future, especially Bitcoin. Let me see this other article. I want to see. This is 5 days ago. See if it brings any other insights to this New York State Bitcoin moratorium. Now, last I heard, they're going to wait for the Democratic gubernatorial because the Democrats are extremely arrogant, and I think they're going to have a real reckoning in the midterm elections. Their hubris is reached astronomical levels. They believe that they're waiting for the gubernatorial primary for governor in New York State to decide on this New York State Bitcoin moratorium. Why? Because they believe that their Democratic candidate is going to win governor. That's how it is in a lot of these Democratic-run states, New York, California, what have you. There's going to be a reckoning this November. I'll have to wait and see. Legislation coming from New York, and this is from popsci.com, is a reflection that a lot of crypto energy is here, but also that we take climate action very seriously. I hope the leaders of other states in the nation will follow, says Liz Moore, New York policy advocate at the environmental nonprofit Earth Justice. New York is a leading region for crypto mining, especially upstate where companies can take advantage of large amounts of cheap hydropower. It already has some of the country's most stringent rules around cryptocurrencies. Hydropower is not damaging to the environment. And if there's an issue with bringing, pushing back warmer, hot water into the lake, then just do the environmental studies that are needed and find a solution and keep these crypto mining jobs here in New York. Otherwise, it's going to Texas. The issue doesn't directly stem from the buying, selling, or trading coins, but the mining process. This is not an anti-tech piece of legislation because it doesn't prevent the buying, selling, and trading of crypto at all. We could have a burgeoning crypto industry here without having proof of work crypto mining in the state. But proof of work and proof of useful work needs to continue to innovate. This whole movement against proof of work is very bad for crypto markets at large. Proof of work is going to allow, just as I was going on the Nervos network, that whole network is bringing the entire crypto industry together, helping secure crypto. There's hacks constantly in the crypto markets. Stuff like Nervos is very much needed, and it's a proof of work concept. And these people don't understand this stuff. They don't understand the big picture. They just buy into the climate hysteria. To put the issue in perspective, the annual power consumption of Bitcoin, which uses proof of work and is the first and most popular cryptocurrency, is comparable to that of the entire country of Thailand. This is a stupid argument that you hear in all these articles. We need to fix our power grid, make it more efficient. This can easily be solved with R&D for fusion and bringing some nuclear power plants online. We better not get hit by an attack or anything, because we need to be spending billions on increasing the energy grid, making it more efficient, helping it fend off some type of amp attack. Could come from North Korea, China, Russia. Who knows? Why is there no discussion of that? Not getting anything new from this article either. It's just the same boilerplate climate hysteria propaganda. It really does get old. I wanted to go over real quick Ethereum's. Where am I at? I've been babbling for a while here. What does the SEC consider a security? Under the Howey test, a cryptocurrency considered a security when it is a investment of money in a common enterprise with a reasonable expectation of profits derived from the entrepreneurial or managerial efforts of others. I'm not hearing a lot of people talk about the possibility of Ethereum the SEC coming after Ethereum with its proof of stake. There's one major pool that's really centralizing all of the proof of stake work. That could be seen as centralized. With a reasonable expectation of profits, that's there. Everything's getting centralized in these indexers, and with all these elite long-term holders of Ethereum, some of them getting Ethereum before it was mined, so pre-mined Ethereum. And so there's this massive concentration of Ethereum with a very small group of individuals. If Gary Gensler goes after Ethereum, they're going to have serious issues. They're going to wish they never got rid of the miners. And, part of me kind of wishes this does happen for Ethereum, because I think the arrogance of the governing body for Ethereum is blinded by their own arrogance. We'll see how things go. Definitely by the end of May, we should have better idea of where Ethereum is at for proof of stake. I'm going to put this article in here, which is a better version of a previous article I went over. This has got some legislative links in it, which I'm going to be going through. I'm actually going to put it in DLive chat. Check that out. And when was this posted? This March 10th? When is this posted? Well, it's a little old, but obviously the SEC case against XRP and the parent company Ripple, and the Library Odyssey case that the SEC has are playing off each other's here. So SEC, and this is from financefeeds.com, SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, Library notes SEC contradictions in XRP and Library cases. The SEC versus Library judge also declined a request from the SEC to move back the trial date, which might mean the Library case will be decided before the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. That would be interesting. Library, a blockchain-based file sharing and payment network, is in the middle of a lawsuit with the Securities and Exchange Commission after being charged in March for 2021 for conducting unregistered offering of digital asset securities. The financial watchdog claims Library sold digital asset securities called Library credits to numerous investors, including investors based in the United States, without registering with the SEC. Library allegedly received more than $11 million US. Bitcoin and services from purchasers who participated in its offering. The lawsuit has garnered more attention recently as the SEC tried to include a ruling in the SEC versus Library as jurisprudence for the SEC versus Ripple. SEC tells court in Library case that human speech is personal opinion. With both cases ongoing, Library has gone to Twitter to let people know that the SEC just said in a verbal argument, in our case, that they have not asserted that Bitcoin or Ethereum is not a security, but Hinman had stated that there are not issues with Ethereum being a security. They're saying the Hinman speech is his personal opinion. This has been a much talked about issue in the SEC versus Ripple cases, as the SEC spent much of the lawsuit arguing that the Hinman's 2018 speech on Ether was his personal opinion, but has now decided to call it public guidance once Magistrate Sarah Nepburn ruled it is not privileged material. And once again, that was back 2018. Now Ethereum's going to proof of stake and definitely becoming more centralized, and could be argued is a security under SEC guidelines. So Ethereum could be in trouble. But who knows? The motion for partial reconsideration and clarification of Magistrate Judge Nepburn's DPP ruling was filed last week, and a decision will be made soon. The original ruling was very well received by Ripple, and XRP holders were accepted as amicus curiae and on court. Attorney John Deaton confirmed the court order as a win and said the biggest victory wasn't the speech draft itself, but the notes of the meetings with third parties not associated with Ripple. On the SEC versus library contradiction, Hogan joke, let me read your future. In a couple of months, the SEC will say that it was not really his personal opinion, but the opinion of the Division of Corporate Finance. I don't know, absolute big mess, but YouTube's long-term future, just like Facebook's stock has taken a massive fall. A lot of people saying YouTube will never die, it's too big, but you got to think long-term. Everybody thinks about internet time, which is a very, very short millisecond, second-to-second existence. You got to look 5, 10 years, 20 years down the road. We need a new internet that has protections for privacy and for free speech, some kind of mechanism for censorship. The Novos network could play an integral part in helping secure the internet and bring back some free speech protections. And this really is, Odyssey's really just going up against YouTube. Definitely support it, because do you want YouTube to continue to, I mean, I constantly have to spend time, copyright claims, blah, blah, blah. It's a failed network. The only reason why it still exists is because it's a monopoly. And they've grown so big. Yes, at the present next couple years, it's too big to fail. But blockchain's starting to grow. Crypto's starting to grow. And YouTube has no strategy to compete with it. Maybe it'll start adopting crypto. Who knows? But it'll fail. And Google has not shown much adoption for crypto. They see it as a threat to their monopoly. So that tells you something about all of this SEC filings. SEC and Gary Gensler, and I've reached out to Gary. I'm trying to set up an interview for him. He obviously is not familiar with my excellent work that I do, but he mentions over and over again that, you know, his main concern is average investors and all the scams in crypto. His main concern, in my opinion, is to protect the big banks and the existing status quo, the corporations and what have you. I don't think he loses sleep at night that average investors, Joe Investor, is going to get scammed by some weird crypto platform like Pirate Chain or Monero. But that's a topic for another day. Interesting nonetheless. The library case, both it and XRP case, are extremely important long-term in the courts for crypto. I'm going to take a real quick look here on ground news, maybe something interesting, but I think I'm going to play the Spinal Tap, the start of the movie at least, the first 5-10 minutes. Don't want to get into copyright issues, of course. Crypto giant Binance deepens Middle East expansion. I definitely have doubts about Binance. It has definite China connections, which means a possible deep CCP connection, and it's gotten into issues with the UK, and it may get into some rough water in the US. I really think Binance has, tried to steal Ethereum's thunder. They took the whole concept of Ethereum and tried to build out their own network, and they don't have a lot of direction. They've got a BEP2 token, which doesn't have smart contract capabilities, and then they have BEP20. And I'm trying to get it integrated into the crypto wallet and running into a lot of issues. Its development has to get better if it thinks it can survive long term. The delivery app Rappi begins accepting cryptocurrency in Mexico. Meta starts building a digital comedy for creators in Horizon Worlds. We're going to be going over in the Canuck and Yankee show this Sunday, Zuck Bucks, or the possibility of Zuck Bucks, Zuckerberg, tried his own cryptocurrency within Facebook called Libra. That failed miserably, as all of his modern projects have failed miserably. But we'll be going over that and more. Iran will not allow crypto payments, prepares to pilot digital real. That's an interesting story. Iran will not recognize cryptocurrency as a means of payment. A high-ranking government official has indicated. His statement came as the Central Bank of Iran announced rules for the issuance of digital coins in the country. The pilot phase of the country's own digital currency, the crypto real, should start in the near future. So I guess the CCP's digital yuan has a real big player coming on with Iran. We'll see how that goes. Cardano is finally due for another breakout. Ada showed promise in its latest bull run, which saw it rally from its sub 0.8 lows to a new local top at $1.24. However, the cryptocurrency has since retraced to lower price levels and is currently trading at $0.96 after tanking by roughly 23% from its recent top. The extended decline also makes it a candidate for another breakout. We'll see. Cardano has made extensive deals with Ergo. That may play a part when Ethereum does go to proof of stake. Ergo may have potential for some growth, as it may be adding more hash power. Have to see. All right. I'm just going to do a little bit of, if this works, this is Spinal Tap movie that was released in 1984. The Canuck, the introductory music that we play a lot of the crypto, for the Canuck and Yankee show and for my crypto streams, features Rick Parnell, which is the Canucks drummer, which he'll be visiting when he visits Montana. And we're planning on having the Canuck do a live stream from Montana. I believe he'll be in Missoula, Montana. So definitely check that out. I think that's going to be in the middle of May 15th, around there. And we may even interview Rick Parnell. Rick Parnell was in Spinal Tap. He was the drummer in the movie. This is Spinal Tap. So I'm going to play an excerpt here, just briefly, of the start of the movie, and take a little break here. I'm probably going to end the stream after that. I'd like to thank everybody for their support here, especially on the D-Live network. But definitely check us out on YouTube. I'm trying to get the subscriber count up. It's getting there. So I'll post it actually in D-Live chat if you want to check that out. And I'm looking into some kind of open source, maybe possibly creating an open source notification system for other streamers and myself whenever I go live. There needs to be a better system for that, letting everybody know when you've gone live. Let me get this. The D-Live chat. There's the Variant News YouTube channel. Check that out, and I'll get the subscriber count up. I'm also looking at some kind of crypto giveaway. I'm desperate. I'm ready to give away some crypto. Let me know what you have interest in. I have some chunks of crypto across very diverse paths. If you're interested in something, maybe we can do a live stream, and we transfer it wallet to wallet live. Fuck it, do it live, just like what's his name, That Irish guy, the Irish weirdo that used to be on Fox. You know what I'm talking about. I forget his name, but I'm going to play just brief beginning of This is Spinal Tap from 1984. One of the greatest rockumentaries of all time. Let me get this loaded up. And I got to make sure that the audio...
Hello, my name is Marty DeBerge. I'm a filmmaker. I make a lot of commercials. That little dog that chases the covered wagon underneath the sink, that was mine. In 1966, I went down to Greenwich Village, New York City to a rock club called the Electric Banana. Don't look for it, it's not there anymore. But that night, I heard a band that, for me, redefined the word rock and roll. I remember being knocked out by their exuberance, their raw power, and their punctuality. That band was Britain's now legendary Spinal Tap. 17 years and 15 albums later, Spinal Tap is still going strong, and they've earned a distinguished place in rock history as one of England's loudest bands. So in the late fall of 1982, when I heard that Tap was releasing a new album called Smell the Glove and was planning their first tour of the United States in almost 6 years to promote that album, well, needless to say, I jumped at the chance to make the documentary, the, if you will, rockumentary.
Smell the glove, baby, smell it.
I wanted to capture the sights, the sounds, the smells of a hard-working rock band on the road. And I got that. But I got more. A lot more. But hey, enough of my yakking. What do you say? Let's boogie.
Greatest rock band ever. Copy page.
Gives me a lot of energy, makes me happy.
Your metal's deep. You can get stuff out of it.
The way they dress, the leather.
Which one is it? Is this La Claudia?
No, this is J. New York, New York.
Watch his mouth. Watch his mouth.
It's like you become one with the guys in the band. I mean, there's no division. You just, the music just unites people with the players.
Live direct from hell, Spinal Tap. You're about to take on. We've got not a dry seat in the house. Next day will be on. Oh, baby, tonight's gonna rock it. Tonight's gonna rock it. Tonight's gonna rock it. Tonight's gonna rock it tonight. We have Spinal Tap from the UK. You must be the USA. Little girl, it's a great big world, but there's only one of us.
They do an interview after this little segue. I don't have a reliable way to pause it.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of the group. I understand, Nigel, you
It's
and
serious
David
stuff. Greatest
originally
rockumentary of all
started the
time.
band,
Listen up.
Back in, when was it, 1964?
Well, before that, we were in different groups. I was in a group called The Creatures, which was a skiffle group.
I was in Lovely Lads,
Yeah.
and then we looked at each other and said,
So,
well, we
look,
might
why
as
not?
well join up, you know, and
So we became the Originals.
right.
And we had to change our name, actually.
Well, there's another group in the East End called the Originals, and we had to rename ourselves.
The New Originals.
New Originals, and then they became
The Regulars. They changed their name back to the Regulars, and we thought, well, we could go back to the Originals, but what's the point?
we became the Thamesmen at that point.
Down. So yeah, there's another interview after that, and they talk about how their former member choked on somebody else's vomit and died. It really is the greatest documentary of all time. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you know, I know there's a lot of millennials out there that watch the stream. I mean, they're in the millions. If you haven't seen this movie, you've got to see it. I mean, turn that shit up to 11 and just forget about it. You know what I mean? I mean, greatest documentary of all time. The greatest band of all time. My all-time favorite. And there's a great scene with Rick Parnell, and we may be getting an interview with Rick. Rick is the Canucks drummer, featured on the intro promo music that we do, the piano and drums. Yeah. Canuck on the piano, and Rick on the drums, on the skins. All right, I'm going to call it quits. My stream is a whopping 2 hours, 1 minute, and 29 seconds. I've babbled for far too long and wasted your time. But I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out. Checks in the mail, I promise this time. Bills, all the bills, they're paid. Don't worry about it. You feel me? Don't worry about a thing. I got some Shibu Inu. I got millions, actually. I can pay all my bills. All right. Thanks, everybody. Be safe. And I'll see you on the other side.
My tree. I love my woman. She making love to me. All I got is one thing down, one thing down. Don't shine, shoot.